Hey everybody. So looking to start a work log of sorts. So I worked for 3 hours today on VR Forge stuff, um, and I just want to go over what was created. So the main thing that was created is this character here, who I'm calling Darrow. I think I'll go with character names for any character that's kind of complete. You know, uh, just because if it's a little weird to just do generic human male. Because if I make another human male that's also old looking or whatever, then it just gets a little confusing. So I figure actually giving them names will kind of make more sense in the long run. But the character is rigged already, so this is through my multi-res system, which will probably make more sense over time. But basically, initially the character was a bunch of separate parts, so separate arm, body, leg, head, and eyes, etc. And I can really quickly Lego piece them back together, make tweaks, make edits. Now this is the version that's going to go into the game, but visually he will look a lot more like this, where he's got muscle definition and actual physicality to him, rather than this version, which just contains that as a texture. Now, in here, again, he is already rigged, so that includes full facial rigging, and it should be quite a simple matter of making all the necessary visemes and expressions. That should be pretty straightforward. And I'm going to try to match them with the ARKit expressions, because that will give people a lot of flexibility in making custom expressions, and then also make it inherently ready to be face tracked using face tracking technology. So it should be very useful to approach it that way. Additionally, I made a little script for myself. This is probably something I'll turn into a more encapsulated version, but right now it's just this little script here. Basically, one of the main issues I have with working on these characters is just placing things. You know, all these bones have to go in a specific spot relative to the mesh, relative to the character. What I did is I created these little pin groups here. It's called a bunch of groups here, mostly just for the hand, but you could use them for any bone. But basically, if we look at them, it takes this influence, finds the average position here, and then moves the corresponding named bone to the correct spot. So let's see that in action. So if I take my rig and we switch it to the reference bone, because these are the bones that I'm actually moving. So for example, if I took the finger here and moved it, or even better, if it was totally garbled and broken, I can just run my script. I have the mesh selected, boom, and it's going to place them in those corresponding spots. Now I've done some work after that initial setup, but just in terms of initial placement, it's going to save me a lot of time. And again, I'm going to be making a lot of things like this moving forward, these little utility scripts. I've already have quite a few with my rapid update script. But yeah, looking forward probably to tomorrow, there's a few types of assets I want to make. So eyes are a main one. We want to be able to just take an eyeball, drop a texture on it, and it's good to go. So we'll be separating out the eye. Right now I did include it in this here, but I think just for ease of use, it doesn't make a lot of sense to include it with the body texture. So we're going to be pulling that out and separating it. I will include the teeth and tongue with the body texture though, because those will have individual teeth and stuff. So we'll want to keep those the body. They're not there just yet. Some other types of assets. So I did create these fingernails here. So ignore the odd colors. That's just for ease of selection down the road. But this little fingernail asset I can use for the toenails and stuff. And then once we actually bake the textures in, we get this nice little shape here. I could continue to do additional edits to it, but yeah, so I'm going to build up a library of not only do we have a library of characters, but then we need some libraries for like really easy to add hair, moles, nipples, other things that, you know, that are basic features, things that I'm gonna have to make a lot of. I'm gonna try and make in a modular way. But yeah, that's where we ended up today. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to go over. I will be back tomorrow with another update. Thank you. Oh, it's today's February 3rd, 2025. Bye.